And Tom, I don't know if I need to ask you for like a specific price target on Nvidia at this point, but that was the market leadership until this summer when it broke down. What do we need from it at this point?
Well, I mean, Nvidia is still at the center of the entire transformation that's coming with AI, and Nvidia continues to be one of the leading companies. So, from a long-term investor perspective, I think anyone should look at Nvidia's congestion and consolidation as opportunities to add if they don't have exposure. And then I think for anyone else, it's just a time to be patient because, of course, stocks don't just go straight up.
We'll go. There are a couple stocks, however, moving higher. Nvidia is up about 3%. Yes, almost 3%. The company hosting a three-day summit in Washington starting today. It's up 25% over the past month. That move has pushed its market cap back up above $3 trillion and passed Microsoft into second place behind just Apple.
The world of artificial intelligence is abuzz with anticipation. Nvidia, a titan in AI technology, shocked the world during its 2024 AI Summit. Scheduled to kick off on October 7th, this event promised to unveil advancements that could redefine the AI landscape, and it delivered tenfold. Would-be investors and tech enthusiasts alike are eager to see what CEO Jensen Huang and other industry leaders have in store. While tech behemoths like Alphabet continue to make multi-billion-dollar investments in AI infrastructure, Nvidia has managed to outpace rivals such as Advanced Micro Devices and Intel, solidifying its place as the go-to provider for AI silicon. So, should you consider hitching your investment wagon to Nvidia? Stay tuned as we dive deeper into the implications of this overall summit and Nvidia's market dominance. Hello everyone and welcome back to Investocracy.
In a week where we're poised for a lot of semiconductor news, whether it is Nvidia speaking down in DC or AMD with its event, obviously this update with Supermicro. I mean, is there still a trade to be had there? Are there still gains to be had in the sector?
I think, again, you're going to have to pick stocks. So I think with Nvidia, it's not going to surprise me to see that hit new all-time record highs before the end of the year. Because Blackwell, in a weird way, the fact that it's been delayed is good for them because nobody wants to get out of line and miss getting those chips because they're 2 to 3 times more powerful than the current generation of chips out there. So we like in what might seem counterintuitive, we like Nvidia actually through year end because of that. Now, I've been pretty open about saying I think there's going to be an AI digestion phase coming. I think it's going to happen in the first half of 2025. I think you're going to have a big problem when that occurs because you haven't seen revenues for the companies spending all of this money on AI go up. They've all gone down. What do I mean by that? Google, Microsoft, Amazon, 3 of the 4 biggest spenders on AI infrastructure, after they reported the June quarter, all of their forward revenue estimates went down. And that's why those stocks had some issues. So unless you see all this spending translate into revenues, you're going to get a digestion phase. And by the way, that happened after COVID. NVIDIA's revenues went from being up over 80% year over year to being down over 20% year over year as these same customers digested all of the COVID spend. So NVIDIA is kind of complicated, but in the short term, I think there's a good shot you see new record highs before the year is over.
Nvidia has undoubtedly transformed the AI marketplace with an impact as monumental as your stocks taking an unexpected upward soar after an earnings call, only this time it's grounded in reality. The company's dominance in AI silicon is evident, claiming a whopping 90% control over a market that's deemed invaluable. Historically, Nvidia has stood toe-to-toe with Advanced Micro Devices in the gaming sector, but that rivalry has dramatically tilted in Nvidia's favor following AI's significant growth spurt in late 2022. The likes of Alphabet, amid fears of being outpaced, have amplified their investments, funneling resources predominantly into Nvidia's technology. Alphabet's CEO, Sundar Pichai, emphasized during a recent earnings call that underinvestment poses a greater risk than overspending, highlighting that anticipation of future growth drives this frenetic rate of investment. Nvidia's competitors, such as AMD and Intel, have been left in the lurch, struggling to mirror the capabilities that Nvidia's chips deliver in terms of power and efficiency. Concurrently, Nvidia's continued investment in research and development, outmatching AMD roughly 2 to 1, affirms its resolve to maintain an edge in this fiercely competitive space. This economic and technological lead is mirrored by Nvidia's historic AI events, starting in 2022 with a virtual focus on AI and speech. But before we go any further, if you want to keep up with Nvidia's latest updates and keep up with the stock market's latest news, you can follow our Twitter account. We post multiple times daily about the biggest changes and catalysts in the market, so click the follow button if you don't want to miss the newest market updates. Now, back to the video.
In the meantime, shares of Nvidia up nearly 3% today for its fourth straight day of gains. It is now up more than 40% from its August 5th lows, less than 10% from its all-time high. The chipmaker kicking off its three-day AI summit this morning. Morgan Stanley reiterating the stock as an overweight rating. Guy?
I think it was a super micro move if you throw that one up. But, we've talked about this. I think Carter talked about it last week. You're in this pennant formation in Nvidia. It's going to break one way or the other. Today, it shows signs of breaking to the upside, but I still think this pennant is intact. The June 20th level, the formation that Tim sort of alluded to, I think the stock closed above 140 that day and reversed. That's interesting. It's not been broached yet. So the question is, which way does it break? Is it going to break to the upside out of this pennant or the downside? Today's action suggests the upside. We'll see, though. It's not there yet, Mel.
And in the case of Nvidia versus an Apple, I think you obviously have two stocks where I would stay with Carter, and I just don't think the expectations in Apple are that great. Nvidia, we know they're great. And so now we've dealt with some production issues. We've had the company come back and pretty much reassure fourth quarter demand, they're saying is going to be extremely strong. And I get back to the stock, and I get back to even some of the market dynamics that have made Nvidia an outperformer, in addition to those ones that are obviously Nvidia specific. I think the macro supports Nvidia. I think it supports the names where you have growth, and I think the market is less worried about that multiple here.
Despite a modest beginning, these events have previously catalyzed short-term boosts in Nvidia's stock, with increases of up to 10% following the inaugural edition. Although correlation doesn't imply causation, these summits signify Nvidia's potential in harnessing AI's full capabilities. CEO Jensen Huang's recent remarks about Nvidia's new Blackwell chip further prop up the stock's allure. According to CNBC, demand for this AI-driven chip is surging before it even hits the market, slated for a fourth quarter release this year. Banking giant JP Morgan bolsters this notion, predicting Blackwell to contribute several $billion to Nvidia's Q4 sales, a forecast that could lead to impressive returns for investors. It's not simply Nvidia basking in the glow of emerging AI technology. Taiwan's semiconductor manufacturing company stands to benefit too, given its role in fabricating these powerful chips. In contrast, Intel finds itself trailing, having suffered a financial blow following these developments. Then there's OpenAI, recently raising $6.6 billion to push the boundaries of AI software. This influx predominantly channels towards expanding compute capacity, benefiting Nvidia and TSMC due to their crucial roles in chip production and sales. As Nvidia's Q3 earnings report looms on November 19th, eyes are trained on the company's forecasts. Analysts foresee a 75% leap in earnings, coupled with an 82% uptick in sales. The real buzz, however, will be around Nvidia's performance predictions for Q4, especially with the Blackwell chip's highly anticipated release. With all of this considered, the cumulative hype positions Nvidia not just as a stock, but as an emblem of modern technological prowess, ready to ascend to further heights. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
Nuclear is a wonderful way forward as one of the sources of energy, one of the sources of sustainable energy. It won't be the only one. We're going to need energy from all sources and balance the availability and the cost of energy, as well as the sustainability over time.
Export controls are a big topic as we go into the November election, particularly when it comes to competition with China. Is Nvidia on track to make a China-safe Blackwell chip?
We haven't announced our future products yet, but the first thing we have to do is comply with whatever policies and regulations that are being imposed, supported fully, and meanwhile do the best we can to compete in the markets that we serve. We have a lot of customers there that depend on us, and we'll do our best to support them.
Do you think the U.S. should back off on China trade sanctions? Do you think the restrictions are effective?
Well, we have to defer all of the policy making to the administration. They understand the balancing national security versus the prosperity of American technology all over the world. We're exporting American technology, which is really terrific for the United States, that the world is built on NVIDIA, on American standards. NVIDIA is an American company, and our government and the administration would love to see us succeed. And so finding the right balance is very difficult to do, but they're doing a wonderful job.
I'm curious, have you been in touch with either of the campaigns to counsel them on this technology?
No, my focus is to build our company, and I trust that they're going to do the best thing for our country. Thank you.
Great, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
So, is NVIDIA the golden ticket for investors in the AI stock market realm? The ongoing market performance and predicted growth trajectories point overwhelmingly toward yes. With NVIDIA's AI summit and the impending release of the Blackwell chip, the company looks set to build on its already impressive momentum. Current forecasts hint at considerable growth, with NVIDIA anticipated to amplify earnings by 75% and sales by an impressive 82%. Yes, NVIDIA stock may be perceived as a high-value play, currently priced around $127.81 a share, but the prospects it holds for exponential growth could make it a worthwhile investment. Meanwhile, NVIDIA's partner, TSMC, offers a slightly safer entry point at a lower price-to-earnings ratio, benefiting from the technology boom while diversifying its market across multiple semiconductor clients. However, the narrative isn't as promising for Intel, whose pricey stocks stand to lose as NVIDIA continues to expand its dominance. Having unraveled this investment conundrum, what are your thoughts? Does NVIDIA's potential to shape the AI future make it a must-have in your stock portfolio? Or do broader market conditions beg caution and patience? Your take could offer the insights that balance the scales of investment wisdom. And finally, if you would like to know what companies like NVIDIA have been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.